How's it going, dudes and dudettes? And happy Sunday. Unfortunately, we have to go back to work tomorrow, which sucks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But today I want to talk about the correlation and some of the guitar techniques of T-Bone Walker and Tony Iommi. As you guys have noticed, I speak a lot about T-Bone Walker, especially recently, but that's because his influence in blues is monumental for electric blues guitar, which is the style that I play, that rock lead guitar derives a lot of its techniques and signature moves from. But one of the big licks that Tony Iommi appropriated from T-Bone Walker, and he didn't really probably appropriate it from T-Bone Walker directly, so much as that he appropriated it from Eric Clapton, who was a disciple of T-Bone Walker's, one of the many disciples of T-Bone Walker's. And that lick is the triplet lick, where you're running through a G minor pentatonic scale, which I'll show you the G minor pentatonic scale first, and then we'll move from there. This is the G minor pentatonic scale. And if you go to this spot right here, it's that triplet lick that I've been mentioning, which this is the perfect fourth of the note G, if we were basing it off of the G minor scale or the G minor pentatonic scale. This note right here would be the perfect fourth. And actually that's the note C, so yeah, that's the perfect fourth. But if you bend that perfect fourth up to a perfect fifth, and then you land on the fifth on the adjacent string, the second string, the B string, you get a unison effect. And it's like this. So what he would do is he would bend that note, the perfect fourth, up to a fifth. So he'd bend it a whole tone, and then he would fall on the fifth, and then he'd fall on the root. And then he would walk it back. Actually, the way T-Bone Walker would do it is he would hit the ninth of the G minor pentatonic scale, this note right here, which is A. But the way that Tony Iommi appropriated it on his solo Black Sabbath from the year 1970, which was probably about 30 years after a lot of these licks were first used, is he did it up here in the octave G minor box 1 position, box 1 of the G minor pentatonic. And the first example was a triplet like this. He did a triplet, and then he bent this note, which is the seventh, up a whole step to the root note, and then he fell on the root note. So it's kind of a unison thing. And he also throws in these Chuck Berry triplets. That was based on T-Bone Walker. That's where Chuck Berry got those licks from. You can hear that all over Chuck Berry's guitar style in the 50s. Which he would actually bar these two strings a lot of times when he did it, but that and the... He got that from T-Bone Walker. Just like T-Bone Walker would take the minor third and hammer onto the major third and then fall on the adjacent strings like this. Chuck Berry did something similar. He kind of took Charlie Christian, who would... or something similar to that, and then the T-Bone Walker thing, and he would make it into his own guitar intro. Just about every Chuck Berry guitar intro is a derivative of... So you can see how this electric blues definitely influenced early rock lead guitar. It still influences modern rock lead guitar. It's just a lot of people aren't aware of where this stuff started and where it comes from. Charlie Christian was the first real prominent electric jazz guitarist, and T-Bone Walker was the first real prominent electric blues guitarist. And a fusion of the two, along with a saxophonist, I believe, named Carl Hogan, who played with Louis Jordan in the 40s, was a big influence on T-Bone Walker, or on Chuck Berry, sorry. Even that right there, Chuck Berry got that from T-Bone Walker, who would actually sometimes bend the whole chord. So yeah, it's true. You can trace the lineage of a 40s electric blues guitarist to Chuck Berry in the 50s to Tony Iommi in the late 60s. And the thing that all three of those players have in common is they are innovators. They actually created a new style with the electric guitar, which to do that, that's an amazing feat. Only a few players ever on their instruments are able to achieve that. It's something that every guitarist or every instrumentalist, despite their instrument, should really strive to. It's an incredible legacy. So yeah, that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it.